Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I did a video a bit ago on this Milwaukee Lineman Hammer. I love this thing, even though I haven't used it much. It's my new kind of overlanding, camping, do-it-all hammer. And a lot of people had other suggestions, and one of them included the Estwing hammer. And so I thought, this is kind of a neat looking hammer. It doesn't have the features quite of the Lineman, and they don't market it exclusively as a Lineman. They also, market it kind of as a long-handled drilling hammer. This is another one here, a smaller little 3-pound. As you can see, I'll get to that in a moment. This is one I've had. This is a 4-pounder right here, 4-pound, that I really like, and I do dress the ends of them as they get all, messed up or rusted in this case, because often I'm using it obviously outside and sometimes it just lives there. But I thought I'd give this thing a shot to see. And one of the things that I found interesting is the hangtag, I guess, if that's called, this little thing that's stuck to the back of it that also advertises blatantly, with the flag, that it's USA made in the USA. But I thought, did this get left in the sun or something? And then I realized, no, that's a distressed flag. That's artwork. That kind of a look. In some ways, it reminded me of this channel lock carrier for a hook and pick set that has the distressed flag, which is, a symbol of several different things besides made in America. But anyway, I was looking at this, and before I got it, I got it off Amazon, and it was on sale. I think I paid with a discount. It had kind of a coupon or something for, I think I was like $37, which is, this was $55, so it's almost $20 less for this thing. But as I was reading through the Amazon reviews, which was kind of interesting, because the Amazon reviews were for almost all of the kind of various Estwing hammers, not claw hammers, but soft blow, etc. So you had to kind of figure out what people were talking about. But there were some other drilling hammers in there. And this one is still fairly unused. And it actually is extremely well presented. It's a rough thing. You're bashing metal around when you're making these things. But, a few little odds and ends. But the ends, the actual, striking faces were well done. So some people were saying that they had gotten some striking face hammers, metal hammers, and it was just all messed up. And they wondered what's happening with Estwing's quality. And I thought, stuff happens. But anyway, this arrives. And this Estwing, here's another distressed flag underneath, as you can see that, kind of try to get that in. It's dirty. I don't know, is it supposed to be battle worn or something? Maybe hints of, I don't know, Revolutionary War, even though we didn't have that flag, or I don't know what, Iwo Jima maybe, made in the USA. But I got this and I thought, that looks like an interesting hammer. I was looking closely at the face here and thought, that's interesting. I have not used this, but there's definitely a mark in the face there. I was looking at the grinding. It's not quite as polished as I would have thought. And then I turned it over and looked close, and what is that? Not only is it rusted, it looks burned, ground. This face is not too bad, when you roll it around in the light. But there's definitely some areas that, somebody was just winging it on the grinder. And that shocked me. I thought, Estwing, what are you doing? This is where you start to think maybe humans aren't as good as robots. But then when I looked at that, did that affect the tempering of it? How did you do that? Did you fall asleep with it on the grinder? This goes way in here. So this is a little bit more significant. And of course, it's got some dings in the finish, some decently sized ones. It's brand new, straight out of the package there. Now, obviously, it's a metal hammer that you're going to hit metal with. But that just seems odd. Didn't anyone notice that? It's on the same side as the tag here. So somebody in quality control should have at least picked up on that. Look at that. How do you do that? That is I mean, I don't even know what to make of it. Anyway, I like to use things a little bit just to play with them and see how they feel. Otherwise, it's got the standard kind of axe hatchet handle. I have no trouble with that. Looks about the same profile. Looks like a good solid long-handled striking metal mallet. You know, they call it an engineer's hammer here, but you see this cross-marked as a drilling hammer, engineer's hammer, and now a lineman hammer as well, because that's a thing. And so I was sort of excited to play around with this, something like this, but that, I don't know what to make of that. If you got any suggestions, let me know at Estwing if you're watching. What's going on here? That, I mean, you can see if I get that focus there, there's some, it's more than just grinding. You know, something with the I can't figure it out. It's not, I mean, you couldn't forge that in. There's what it looks like after it's been painted here. But then there's this obvious defect. Maybe it was in a machine, and that the defect here from the forging, there is a distinct bump right, or a depression right here. Maybe that caused the band, when it spun it around in a machine, to get stuck or something and grind on it. But then the polishing, you'd think, would come after the grinding. But I don't know. And then to actually, you know, move up onto the face, what would cause that? Anyway, but otherwise it looks like a great hammer. A decent expression of something in this size. I like the longer hammer. That's where I was going to compare it here. This is a 40 ounce at 3 pounds, whatever, 3 times, what, 16 is that 48. So this is a heavier hammer, a little bit bigger hammer, but not necessarily that much larger here. But that handle, I mean, that's a huge difference when you think about, you know, how much longer it is. But I'm worried now, given the quality control. I've had great luck with Estwing. This is, you know, kind of one of my favorites. It's a real heavy but small, and that's, I like the compactness, but then you've got a big striking weight up here versus a longer handle and a smaller weight. But anyway, I guess with distressed, I'm starting to see some symbolism. Maybe their manufacturing's a little distressed given that. Let me know. And with that, Doc out.